This motorcycle really needs no introduction. Gentlemen, all hail His Majesty, the King of Americana, the Harley Davidson Road King. Shines bright like a classic, but this is thoroughly a modern bike. So how about we take a closer look and get to know His Majesty, the Road King itself, starting with the smallest part of the bike, which is technically not on the bike, but it's this round key fob over here. Now, all you need to do is to ensure that the key fob is in your pocket, just like any good keyless go and entry car, and you can just walk up to the bike and twist that to ignition and you can fire up the bike, which is really, really cool. People wouldn't even think that when they see a Harley. And then all of a sudden, you can. But I tell you, a modern bike. Now, let's come over to the front. So this setup over here with the whitewashed tires and also this very 40s inspired mudguard is really what makes this bike look very classic, along with the very large headlamp flanked by these two smaller lamps and also indicator lights, and also this detachable windscreen. This entire facade really tells you that this is Harley Davidson doing what they do best, making fantastic looking, classic looking bikes. And that is the business over here. Now, the modern part of this front part is that you get double disc brakes with, well, they might not say Brembo over there, but they are Brembo bits in those brake kits, ensuring that you will have great stopping power. Now, as you move to the middle, let's take a closer look at the instrumentation, shall we? The position that you're in is one that is upright and very commanding. I guess it all makes sense calling this bike Road King, because you will actually feel like you're the king of the road with the position that you're sitting at. The foot rests, or rather the floorboards, if I may call them, are very, very wide and very, very comfortable. Imagine doing long distances in this. Perfecto. You've got the brakes on this side, and then the shifters on the left are heel and toe action, so you can actually press down with your toes to go to first gear and then press down on your heels to go up to second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. You know why? This is to ensure that your shoes don't get muddled up. In front of you, you have very clear clocks showing that you will be able to go all the way up to 220 kilometers an hour, though I'm not entirely sure if you will in this bike. And then you also get a display panel that you can toggle with this button over here, showing you the fuel reserve that you have as well as the gear that you're in. You might look like you have two entries into the fuel tank, but this is the fuel tank fill-up cap, and this is actually a very clever version of the fuel gauge. So you'll be able to tell exactly how much fuel you have in there. Different from European and Japanese bikes, you don't switch on your left to go left or right. You actually have individual buttons, one on the left and one on the right, to choose the respective indicators. That's, if you're not used to it, you'll probably forget it, but you'll need some getting used to. As we move to the back, you will get a pair of saddlebags as standard. Now, these saddlebags are very roomy and they are very easy to operate even if you have gloves on, because they might look like they have buckles, but in fact they are just plastic clamps. And as you open them up, you will discover that the saddlebag itself is very, very roomy indeed. The only downside is that you cannot lock the saddlebags, meaning you cannot leave your goodies in there as you leave the bike. You know, if you're in a long distance, you have to take your luggage out. The suspension out back is adjustable, and the exhaust pipes that come with this bike is a little bit on the quiet side, but hey, this is a Harley Davidson. At the end of the day, you can definitely customize your bike to the hilt and really make it sound, look and feel any way you want to. Now, enough talk about all that. I can sit here looking at this beautiful gleaming machine with its engine guard and the saddlebag guards, all chrome and shiny, for hours, but really what I want to do is just to hit the open roads. So how about we go for a ride, shall we? Right, at the end of the day, this is a car and bike show, so we're going to think about numbers a little bit, right? Okay, just a little bit. This bike comes with a V-twin 1.7 litre engine with immense number of bhp and torque, more than enough to carve a smile on your face when you're going down the highway. And of course, that 1.7 litre lump is paired to a 6-speed gearbox that does not click into place, but rather loudly and mechanically plonks into place. Listen to this. Yeah man, it gives you that pure satisfaction of a mechanical gear shift. Now then, whilst this bike may be a little bit on the heavy side, but really the weight, all 370 kilograms of it, you really only feel when you're going very slow or when you're caught in city traffic and stuff like that, because the moment you get up to riding speed, really it's a doddle to handle. And not only is it a doddle to handle, but also it actually feels very, very stable and very solid. You don't feel that much vibration, you feel very relaxed, and the weight really keeps you planted and grounded. And imagine doing long distances in this, it would be an absolute joy, seriously, because this is precisely what the bike is made for. It is made to go very far, very comfortably, and there's no denying that you will be able to achieve that very easily. The other thing that really quite surprised me is that whilst this bike is big and wide, it's actually pretty easy to handle because it's got very good lean-in angles thanks to the engine guard. You'll be able to see it now. See what I mean by the engine guard? The engine guard is actually very wide, right? But then because of the angle of the slope at the bottom, it gives very good lean-in if I need to. Now, apart from that, you also get a sense of protection from this windshield over here. Now, the windshield is positioned just at the right position of your eye level, because if you have to protect yourself from the weather, you duck down, or if you want to see clearer, you go up. Precisely why this windshield is at that level. But in speaking of protection, nothing protects you better from the set of brakes that this bike comes with, because of course, in Malaysia, ABS is standard. In fact, in emergency braking situations, all you need to do is to just brake hard, and then the bike will automatically brake both brakes for you with a 60-40 bias. And that's to ensure that you stop safely as well. So what's the verdict? You can't go wrong lah with the Harley Davidson, you know that, because you're buying an American classic and a legend. And when you buy a Harley Davidson, you're not just buying a bike, but you're buying a lifestyle. A very cool, rock and roll, laid back lifestyle. And you're going to be able to share this lifestyle with a lot of people out there that really, truly, truly enjoy the meaning of riding free. What an exciting episode it's been. Well, don't forget to catch us again next week, because we'll be back and we are going to go off-roading. Also, we are checking out the all-new Nissan X-Trail. Don't forget to catch us at ingear.astrawani.com. See you then. Bye-bye.